Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And first, let me say, Mr. Austin, thank you for being here. And on behalf of Oklahoma's congressional delegation, I want to thank you and your team for working with my office to plant a sapling of the Oklahoma City National Memorial sapling tree on the Capitol grounds last April to honor those that were lost in the Alfred P. Murrah federal building bombing on April 19th, 1995. We are excited to direct our constituents to the Capitol grounds to see the sapling, and I was there a month ago with Senator Lankford, and it has grown tremendously since it was planted last April. So huge appreciation from our delegation in your assistance in getting that done. I also want to thank you and your team for the ADA pickup and drop-off outside of the Capitol. You know, when I became the Modernization and Innovation Subcommittee Chairwoman, I was shocked to learn that there was not a permanent ADA access point for individuals coming to this, the People's House. And so you were, I think, instrumental in your team in figuring out how to make that happen quickly, keeping in mind security aspects that are important on this campus, but also recognizing that many people who visit the building that have physical disabilities were having a hard time. And we got to celebrate that important ADA pickup drop-off launch last year, and I'm very thankful for that. Your office and the challenges that you face are unique, and I hope that with continued transparency with the architect of the Capitol in conjunction with House administration that we can help address the looming challenges that make the Capitol complex more sustainable for future generations. You have been a great partner, and I hope that we can continue to build off of the successes that we have seen since taking over this role. My question to you is sort of a general one, and that is, what do you believe that the AOC's largest opportunities for institutional growth are?
As far as well, first off, in the preamble, the survivor tree is definitely a survivor tree because it has thrived since it's been on campus, and so that's a huge success story, as we've discussed. But thank you for that shout out, and I'll make sure I pass on to my Capitol Grounds and Arboretum team. They're very proud of those trees. As far as institutional growth, Congresswoman, I would say when we're talking, we've had some discussions about the scale of the Rayburn renovation, and it certainly will be the largest renovation program this agency's ever taken on. And I'd probably posit to say inside the federal government writ large, it's one of the largest renovation programs. And so as we're trying to tackle that challenge, what do I have to look at in my staff in order to make sure I can support such a program of that size? And as the parameters of that program get fleshed out, I look for opportunities to have a discussion about what that program team will look like and grow them into that. Some other areas that we're trying to be more responsive to the needs, we've had a lot of discussion today about elevators and escalators. So I want to be more responsive to that. We're looking at technology issues that, we're also looking at human capital that way as well, and that we can respond more quickly and at all hours to it. So right now, on the weekends, for instance, we will have someone to respond because we have people to respond to elevator outages. But we want to make sure there's an elevator mechanic that can respond at all hours in case something like that happens. And so those are some of the challenges. We also want to be more responsive in emergency management. We've seen some shortfalls there that we want to make sure that we're prepared for in case those happen. And so we're looking for some institutional growth in those areas as well. But in general, I'm certainly focused on our facilities, but when it comes to growth, since you're giving me the opportunity to speak to this, is that I'm looking for ways that we can be more responsive to Congress.
When you mentioned the Rayburn renovation, can you maybe talk a little bit briefly about the difference with renovating a building like Rayburn versus what we've been working on with the Cannon building?
Sure. So the most obvious way is its size. Rayburn's significantly larger, almost 3 times the size of Cannon. Not quite, but almost 3 times the size of Cannon. It also has a lot more challenges associated with just the way it was constructed. We've talked a lot bit about asbestos and lead and some of the challenges which are much more prevalent in that building than they were in Cannon. There's a lot of materials issues and things of that nature as well. But I'd say that the biggest differences between those two are going to be when it comes just the way we maintain member access, the points in and out of the building, and also this facility, Cannon has some, but this facility, Rayburn, has more and more hearing rooms and committee spaces and other specialty facilities like a firing range for the Capitol Police and other things that were not challenges inside Cannon and certainly will be part of this program.
Thank you. I appreciate all you've done for this institution and certainly for the campus and our collaboration and working together on making sure that we're doing what we can to improve the People's House. So thank you and your team for your hard work. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield.